Welcome back, students. Let's continue with the principles of electricity. In principles of electricity, we have already studied about charges. There are two types of charges, positive and negative charges, and these charges flow inside the conductor constitutes the current, right? So what is current? We have already studied, and also we have studied potential difference. What do you mean by potential difference? That is the work done to move the charges. So if the moment of charges constitutes the current, to get the current we should apply potential difference. Okay. So in the analogy of potential difference, we have considered two vessels while analyzing potential difference. We have considered two vessels with a little bit of water filling in those vessels. But can you expect a flow of water from vessel B to A? No, it will not happen because these two vessels are in the same height. Okay, so what we did is to make the water to flow. To make the water to flow, we kept the vessel B in some, we kept it in a height. That means these two vessels are in the same level, but when we did the vessel B to when we kept the vessel B at some height, the water can easily flow. That means the pressure, because the pressure among these two vessels are different, we created a pressure difference among the vessels. So water could flow from vessel B to vessel A. So if I make the vessel B height of the vessel B still increased, that means the height of the vessel B is increased, again what happens? The water flow will be fast, right? Earlier the two vessels are in the same level, so water could not flow. So we did a work. What work we did? We increased the height of the vessel B so that water could flow from vessel B to vessel A. In the same way, if I increase the height, the pressure difference increases again. So water can flow even faster than the earlier. So here the water flow is depending on the increment of the height of the vessel B, right? If I increase that, in the same way, this is in case of water flow. We have already discussed about electric potential. So to create electric potential, to create potential difference among two charges, if the two charges are at the same potential, they will not move, they will not attract. If they attract, they cannot move. So we should create a potential difference between the charges. That will be done by our cell or that, right? So what we did is consider a simple circuit. I connect a bulb over here. Consider this, if I give 2 volt, that means I have given a potential difference, therefore the current is flowing and that current will flow through this bulb and the bulb will glow, right? Bulb is glowing. If I increase the potential difference even more, 4 volt, the bulb will glow created a potential difference and current is flowing, that we came to know by seeing the bulb is glowing. Once the potential difference across the ends of the bulb increased, what happened? Bulb is still going brighter. That means more current is flowing, right? What happened in the case of water analogy, water flow analogy? What happened when we increase the height even more, the water flow is faster. In the same way, if you increase the potential difference, the charges will flow even faster. Therefore, the bulb is going brighter. That means current is more. If the potential difference is increased, even the current is increasing. So, to relate these two, to relate voltage and current, there is a law stated by a German physicist. George Simon Ohm, who stated a law that is called Ohm's law. What does it tell? Ohm's law tells us about the relationship between the voltage and current. That is, Ohm's law states that the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. The potential difference across its ends, provided the temperature and other physical conditions remains constant. That means the voltage, if the voltage increases, if the potential difference increases across the conductor, the current will also increase, right? So, we have a simple circuit. To realize Ohm's law, here Ohm's law states the current flowing through the conductor. If I be the current flowing through the conductor and if V is the potential difference across the conductor, what happens? I is proportional to V. That means current flowing through the conductor depends directly on the voltage across it or potential difference across it. Also, you can write V is equal to IR, where R is the resistance of the resistor. This symbol, this is nothing but resistance of the conductor or resistance or resistor. It's a device. Resistor is a electronic component which opposes the flow of current. Resistance is nothing but the property of the conductor which opposes the flow of current. Also, resistors are also used to limit the flow of current. For example, Let's write this Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. See, I have told you the analysis of the water. I have increased the height of the vessel so that water can flow from vessel B to A, right? If I put a gate, here, what happens? The water should flow only between this distance. That means I am blocking a bit of water flowing, or else I can even reduce the width of the pipe. What happens? The water flow will become limited. That means whatever the water used to flow earlier has been, the flow of water speed is decreased because I have resisted it. So when both the vessels are in same level, no water flow. When I increase the height, potential difference applied, water starts flowing, that means starts flowing. Once I introduce the resistance or resistor, the current flow, the charges flowing through that will be limited. By that, current flow will be limited by using the resistor. Understood? If I decrease the thickness of the pipe, the water flow will be, the speed of the water flow will be decreased. So, it is to analyze Ohm's law. When we introduce a resistor, the current flow will be limited. The resistance is a property of the conductor which opposes the flow of current. And in further classes, we also study how these resistors are constructed and what and all the materials used to construct the resistor. In the coming class, I will show you how the resistor will look like. Okay. And the circuit symbol of the resistor is this one. And the resistor, SI unit of resistor is ohm, represented by the sign. Okay. This V is equal to IR. From Ohm's law, the resistance of the material of conductor depends on the physical conditions of the conductor. And also it is temperature dependent. For example, if a copper conductor is connected to a potential difference of V, the current starts flowing. If you increase the length of the conductor, the resistance of the conductor may be increased. Or if you increase the thickness of the conductor, then also the resistance of the material may be increased. So, resistance is depending on the physical conditions of the resistor, and also it's also temperature dependent. For example, your tungsten filament, which is used in incandescent bulb, when more current flows continuously, the bulb will be hotter. You might have observed. So, when the filament gets heated up, more and more the resistance of that tungsten will be more, so that it can limit the current to protect the bulb. So, resistors are used in many devices to protect in the electronic devices by limiting the current. Now, this is the voltage, current and resistance of the circuit. In the circuit there may be so many resistors are connected, and obviously the potential difference is applied and current will be flowing. If you know only resistance and current, you can know the value of potential difference, or if you know the value of potential difference, you can and current, you can calculate the value of resistance, or any one of these is unknown, you can calculate by that. See, if you don't know the value of V, that is potential difference, you can calculate using V is equal to IR. If you don't know the value of I is equal to V by R. If you don't know the value of R, then R is equal to V by I. This is to memorize the Ohm's law. Okay, this is very important and very basic thing. Okay, in future anybody asks you what is Ohm's law, you can easily tell V is equal to IR, but that is not the way to tell. If anybody asks you what is Ohm's law, you should tell, take a conductor, apply potential difference across its end, the current will be flowing, which is depending on the resistance of that conductor, or the potential difference applied is equal to the current flowing through the conductor and resistance of that particular conductor. Okay. And the graph of the Ohm's law, if you draw the VI characteristics, voltage, current characteristics, that will be linear. Linear graph in the sense it should look like this. If I apply voltage in x-axis, current in y-axis, then the graph should be a straight line. Then you can tell that is a linear graph. See, so that I will give an example. Okay, this is a simple circuit. This is the ammeter, which is ammeter is a device used to measure the electric current. Or you can even connect a bulb over here. This is the resistance. I have kept the resistance of 2 ohm and the voltage. Here it is 0 volt connected to one end of the resistor, and the other end of the resistor is connected to 12 volt. Right? So, if you calculate for 12 volt, voltage is equal to 12 volt and resistance is equal to 2 ohm, then I will make a table for that will be easy for you. Voltage, resistance, current, voltage in volts, resistance in ohms, and current in amperes. If I apply, I'll start from 0 volt. 0 volt, that means this plug is connected to 0. No potential difference is applied, that is 0 volt. For 2 ohm resistance, I is equal to V by R. So 0 by 2 ohm is 0 amperes. If I apply 2 voltage, it is 5 amperes. 12 volt is applied and it is 6 amperes. These are the symbols of the batteries are connected in cells are connected in series, so that it will adds up all in the same direction. So this case voltage gets adds up. So what I have got is, for voltage is increasing, for a constant resistor even the current will be increasing. So if I draw a graph, potential difference or voltage in x-axis and current in y-axis, what happens? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for 0 volt, 0 current, for 2 volt is 1, for 4 volt is 2, for 6 volt is 3, for 8 volt it is 4, for 10 volt it is 5. So the graph is linear, straight line. You get this experiment again you are going to perform in the laboratory. That time it will be easy for you if you know the Ohm's law concept clearly. Okay, so next we go to limitations of Ohm's law. Ohm's law is used in measuring the voltage and current only. It has its own limitation. It is applied only in linear devices. Okay, so limitations of Ohm's law. First one is, it is not applicable where the physical conditions something like of a conductor are subject to change. That means if you increase the length of the conductor or if you increase the thickness of the conductor, the resistance of that will be varied. So that will not be applicable. Ohm's law will not be applicable in that cases. Okay, and also Ohm's law is not applicable for non-linear devices. Non-linear devices such as semiconductor devices, diodes, transistors, etc., where only unidirectional current flows. And also in case of electron tubes, that is your vacuum tubes, nowadays it is rarely used. Also in discharge tubes, something like CFL bulbs and your tube lights, gas fill bulbs, or in some electrolytic operations, there Ohm's law will not be applicable. And Ohm's law is not applicable Ohm's law is not applicable in extremely high and low temperature. In extreme high and low temperatures. And also Ohm's law is not applicable in casing devices or arcing devices. Arcing in the okay, open circuit in the connection. That means if two wires are connected or a conductor is which is passing the current, what happens if you drag that or from some circumstances, or if you cut that, what happens, the current is flowing through this conductor. If this breaks up, what happens, a spark you can observe. In case of welding machines, welding will be do no, in that cases you can observe a spark. How that spark happens? Because of, see, current will be flowing, current will not break up suddenly, it will makes the air molecules will be ionized and you can expect that spark. Okay. In case of AC, when the current reaches the zero potential, it will be, current will be, magnitude of the current will be changing. When the current will reach the zero potential, that time that spark disappears. Okay, AC in the sense break up in the connection. In that cases, Ohm's law is not applicable. In that cases, you cannot measure a voltage or current because there the Ohm's law is not applicable. Okay. So that's all for today. Please read the textbook. I have told you, I have given a call for most of you and told you to solve the 1 mark questions in first chapter. Only one person responded me with the answers, nobody else. I know you people busy with PCM, but still electronics you have to study. So whenever you find time, you have lots of time because you are at home. Whenever you find time, please solve the 1 mark and 2 mark. Whoever already solved 1 mark questions, leave it. If possible, send a photocopy to me on my personal number. Don't send it in the group. Okay? Don't send the assignments in the group. Only doubts you can ask. Send it to me on my personal number. I guess everybody has my personal number. And along with 1 mark questions, even you have to solve 2 mark questions. Any doubts, contact me. Because from the first chapter, only 1 mark and 2 marks, those questions if you cover, that is more than enough. Compulsory 1 mark question will be there. So 1 mark questions in the examination are compulsory questions, no choices in that. So if you want to score full marks in electronics, you should do that. Whenever you find time, don't neglect, because this subject is not in CET, I agree, but it's a very interesting subject. This you are going to study in your engineering studies in almost all the branches. You are going to study electronics. Also, whatever I am covering principles of electricity and semiconductors, whatever we have studied, that in all will be there in second year physics. So please don't neglect. Ask the doubts. If you don't understand, tell me. I will explain you once again. Study the textbook, and if you have any doubts, no doubts, then it's okay. If you have doubts, don't hesitate to ask. You can ask in the group. Also, you can ask me on my personal number.